This session is going to focus on DevPartner's Performance Expert. Performance Expert can be found under the drop-down menu for DevPartner with the light bulb icon. It can also be found on the toolbar with the icons with tooltips with the light bulb here as well. The way it works is it does on-the-fly bytecode instrumentation against the application. We'll hit start, and it's more of a holistic approach with this tool, meaning that we're focusing at the application level and we're focusing on .NET applications only. This does focus on .NET, whether it's web or Win applications, and it looks at profiling and collecting and reporting CPU process time, disk I/O, and network I/O activity. So as I log into my demo application, you'll be able to see Performance Expert profiling in the background. Let me move this over. And you can see the profiling taking place. So as I go in here, I will go and process an order, and you can see various profiling activity taking place. And I'm going to check out here. And then submit an order. Now at that point, I'll just go in here and I can clear the data or take a snapshot. So I've opted to take a snapshot, and I have a new snapshot created. I also can just kill the application, just like any of the other tools within DevPartner Studio. And by doing that, create a session file as well. So I'm going to close out this output window. I'm going to close out this session from killing the app and focus on the snapshot. Now I do have this one, but I also have one that I've already created from a different session that has a couple of other things to show you as well. So with that, let me close this too. I can go in and see paths that use the most CPU, as well as individual methods that use the most CPU, but also when and if there's any disk I/O or network I/O, you'll see icons representing those. Now in this case, I didn't have network I/O that was collected in the session, but I do have disk I/O. So this lets me know that while this path is executing, first of all, this path is taking the most CPU time. I also had X number, in this case 52,782 bytes of disk activity or disk I/O taking place. So I can look across paths, which there could be more than one culprit adding to a performance bottleneck. I also can go to individual methods and look at those as well. So the reason to have this tool as a sister tool, if you will, for the performance analysis or the profiling metric analysis tool that does the deep dive, this gives you the ability to go in and see other things that may be causing the problem besides straight CPU performance. Meaning that I can go in here and my application could come across as running fine under a performance profiling tool. However, it's not taking into account external activity such as network or disk I/O that's taking place. So for instance, in this example, if I want to drill in further, then I click on the path using the most CPU, and I can drill in here from a graphical view and see the more blue that's listed within a method means the more time being spent in that one, and also shows me within these methods where this disk activity is taking place. And you can see that these were the two methods with disk activity that were rolled up in one number on the previous summary view because we looked across the entire path. So if I go and choose this one, because this is obviously the one taking the most time, well then I can drill down into the details, and I can see it's this database connection. So I see there's disk activity, data activity taking place, which can make sense here. So I can go in and see that detail from the line, including line number. I also can go back and look at the call stack leading up to this particular issue. So I can look at it from that point of view. I also can look at a call tree rather than a call graph. Maybe I just want to see the numbers and sort accordingly for the path analysis for each individual column. So I can go in and look at CPU time, elapsed time, disk activity, network activity, and wait time. That's another one I didn't mention at the onset, was that we also take into account and report back with Performance Expert from DevPartner Studio the wait time, because there could be a ton more wait time than you anticipated when you're creating this application when you go back and actually execute it and see what's taking place. So from here, I have the ability of drilling into any of those. I also can go in and choose, and there's a ton of different columns that you may be interested in for disk reads, disk writes, network, sync errors, namespace. So there's a lot where you can control as much or as little as you want to profile with this tool. So again, the benefit of this tool is to take things a bit further with your .NET applications and focus on looking across paths or individual methods using the most CPU, but breaking it down according to the number of CPU time that's taking place as far as that goes, the CPU metrics, the disk I/O count, the network I/O count, as well as any wait time. So this gives you a more robust attack at finding your application's performance issues than giving you better quality by combining the straight CPU analysis benefits under the CPU performance profiling tool with Performance Expert for your .NET managed applications.